I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. This is something that far too few people are doing or even aware of, and actually some people are accidentally doing it. Howdy everyone, Nate here. I spoke at VidSummit on this very thing, and I wanted to give it to you here distilled and upgraded because it's something I think you want to know about. Here is the idea. The most memorable YouTube channels are the channels that intentionally build a new language with their audience. By language, we're not just saying Spanish or English or French, we're talking about the things that make your audience feel like they belong as part of your audience. This type of channel is the type of channel that you won't just see get one viral video and then never take off ever again. It's the type that you'll see grow in stair steps. Like a video will pop and people will come back to the channel, and it'll pop again and people will come back again and again. And the baseline amount of viewership on that channel will go up and up. So let's walk through how exactly to do this. Here is the formula. Your audience language plus your unique language equals the new language. When you combine the two, you create a memorable destination style of channel. Also, random shout out here because I want to. This video is sponsored by myself. But really, we're creating an awesome group, and I'm always creating free templates, helpful guides, and opening it up for data gatherers and video roasts over at this link. I'll put it in the pinned comment and the description on this video. It's free. I'd love if you just joined and found it useful for yourself. All right, sponsor segment is over. Let's get on with this. So let's talk about your audience language. What does that even mean? Here is what I'd want you to do. And in fact, if you have a piece of paper and a pen right now, pull it out right now and work through this as I'm explaining this. Your audience, the one that you are trying to attract on YouTube, has a unique language. They have a specific way of thinking and communicating and specific things that attract them to content. So what words do they use to think and talk about their goals, their problems, their relationships, and their relaxation? How do they think about those things in their own language, in first-person language? I like this. I don't like this. So what I want you to do, if you have a moment, don't do this if you're driving, and list out all of these things. Make a big old list of this. This is actually one of the recommendations combined with what I'm about to show you later on in this video that I have done with multiple clients with great success. I have seen this work over and over again. And shout out to anyone who has worked with me that has heard this recommendation before. So you make this list, don't take any more than 5 minutes on it. Just write out, just free-form thought, everything that you think your audience is like, using their language, their words, the first-person language. I like, I don't like, I want, and this is what I enjoy. So once you've done that, let me point out what you have. You have a starter list of how your audience approaches content. Well, it's honestly how they approach life, but how they approach YouTube. Okay, now let's get to your language. What words do you use frequently to think and talk about what you appreciate, what you hate, what you wish happened, and what you think is hilarious? There's a possibility that you might feel some resistance right now to writing down a few of those things, and I assure you it is worth it. If you're anything like me, when it comes to looking inward and saying, oh, this is who I am, this is what I enjoy, this is what I like doing, this is what I don't like doing, it can feel a bit awkward. It can feel like, well, why aren't I being more humble? Well, I should be focusing on my audience or my clients. Like, why does it matter what I think or what I'm bringing here? I say this because of a key factor that I keep seeing work on YouTube. That if it's ignored, particularly in the business sector, if you're working with a business and you're watching this, you're looking to build an audience to generate traffic for your business, if this is ignored, it's almost guaranteed that you won't grow to the degree that you want to grow. It's this. Everybody has a Superman and a Clark Kent side of things. If you're not familiar with the story, Superman is the guy that can, he's bulletproof and he can fly and all of those things. Clark Kent is the guy that wears glasses, and nothing against glasses, but he's the guy that's the normal nobody, the Peter Parker, the friendly neighborhood guy that's not actually the superhero. If you only focus on the outward of your business or content and don't also focus on the Clark Kent side of things, you are losing out on the connection you could have with your audience. This is why with one client for a while, instead of recording in the typical recording studio, I said, let's just sit on your couch and record on your couch. All right, I think you got that. Here is where the magic starts coming in here. What is your new language? Step 1, gain fluency in your audience language. That list we made, as well as spending time around your audience in your campground on YouTube or in your niche on YouTube, spend time around there, get familiar with that, and think of it like you're gaining fluency in their language. Then identify and openly share your language with your audience, within your content. The keyword here being openly. This is also something that I've been focusing on with another client who, with much of the content, was of the opinion that emotions and personal anecdotes and personal stories should be just left off the table. This is all about pure information. And I had to stop them and say, yes, but no. You're actually missing out on a lot of enjoyableness within your content. Your videos are not very easy to consume because you're leaving out a huge portion of what could be there. So that's why we use the words openly share it. And then 3, combine the two, making your new language. So take those two lists and combine them and make a new language. Let me give you some examples. If in the audience language they think, I don't feel like anyone understands me, and I'm lonely. As a previous client, Samantha Boyer, had a whole story of a fictional universe called Haven Hollow. So Samantha's language here was focused on these stories of these fictional characters in Haven Hollow. When we combine the two, the audience language and the you language, we get this new thing, a greeting. Welcome back to Haven Hollow. You see that? There's a feeling associated with that that's the combination of the previous 2 languages. Another example, if the audience thinks, I have to work really hard to learn Spanish, you might think, if you just learn these 10 things, 80% of the work is done for you. You might create a mantra with your audience that's Spanish is simple. See? It's a little bit of a play on words. Don't judge me. I just came up with these. Another example, if the audience thinks s'mores are delicious and you think s'mores are delicious, then your new language could be, well, s'mores are delicious. You can't change that. It's perfection. If this is being helpful and eye-opening to you, I would love if you'd boop the like button on this video so it can spread to more people. So thank you for doing that. One more example to let this really sink in. If the audience thinks, I love watching crazy tennis replays. You think tennis is much deeper than most people think. So your new language could be, what's masterful about that? During a replay, maybe you're breaking down a replay of a tennis play and you say, now let's pause here. What's masterful about what just happened? And then you proceed to dive deeper. With that example, you're meeting people where they are with, well, I love watching tennis replays, and you're combining it with your language of it's actually deeper. It's way cooler than even you might think. You might even be aware of right now. You're combining those 2 things, meeting the audience, combining it with yours, and you're creating a new experience with them. So here's how to apply it to what you are doing. First, join the Radical group. That's where I share a lot of additional value that I can't share on YouTube. It's over there. And second, you can apply it in any of these locations. 1, spoken traditions. I give a few examples. Why do you think I do a howdy howdy at the beginning of each of my videos? This. Another is in titles and thumbnails. If you see that your audience is particularly attracted to a certain word, that you can start to incorporate that into your titles or thumbnails. You can also do it in greetings or outros, or even when you're offering something within the content of a video. So now you have another radically effective skill to add to your tool belt. I'm going to recommend another one, which is this one.